Alright, welcome back to Game 4 in this best of 5 between Real and Yuimetal. So Real in the purple trunks over here on the right side of the map. It's Holy Roman Empire. Holy, it's been a minute and a half since I've casted a game of HRE. And same with Ottomans actually, which is Yuimetal's civ of choice today in the green trunks over on the left hand side of the map. So Yuimetal just distance gathering a bit of stone. He's going to drop that off and just go straight back on the food. He's able to go for a military school a little bit later on now. Or no, throw it down right now and just throw down his house as well. While Real HRE just empowering some villagers, going on some early gold as well. So we're here today on Prairie in the European, what's it called? European Temperate tile set. So it'll just be free spearman production for now from Yuimetal. So we've got 2 scouts for Yuimetal. We've got 1, 3, 2. Yep, just 2 for Real as well, but he's also got the prelate. What's the difference between this and Arabia? Really just smaller wood distribution around the map? It seems pretty similar otherwise, like it's a short rush distance, open map, 3 sacreds, 5 relics. I think the main differences between Prairie and Dry Arabia are honestly just in the sizes of your wood lines. Oh, and small huntables packs rather than big huntables packs. But ultimately, it's pretty much the same number of deer on the map. It's just harder to sit on a single source of food once your sheep run out because they're smaller patches of, smaller herds of deer. The normal number of berries? I'm not too sure. I don't really keep track of how many berries are there. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That seems about normal, isn't it? But yeah, either way, this is basically Arabia with a lighter resource pool on the map. Oh, yep, there's also no large gold veins either. So Minework Palace, really cheap and fast researching blacksmith upgrades for our HRE player. While the first of the free spearmen for Yuimetal starting to engage on these vills. Some nice control there by Yuimetal, not wanting to overstay his welcome. So Real's prelate going to be stuck empowering and healing, whereas if he was just empowering, he'd be able to get it done that little bit faster, a little bit more resources incoming for Real. But at the same time, while the prelate's there, there's not really going to be anything in the way of losses. Yuimetal still some time away from getting that 3rd spearman out. He's got the 2nd one crossing the field now. But unless he can chip away at the prelate, he's not really getting anywhere. Though now with the 2nd spear, is that enough to out damage the healing? I think it might be. So now Real's got to juggle villages as best he can. Forced off the gold as well. He's already up to 400. He might be hoping to just get enough to pump out all his upgrades. Possibly even take castle and then just completely ignore gold gathering for a little bit. Take quick age 3. Or take quick age 2, armory upgrades and, field an army. So Yuimetal, age up, complete now. And he's gone Twin Minaret Madris, which is a great source of berries that'll just keep on spawning throughout the game. Save you having to commit to farms as early or having to get further and further out in the map, growing your food economy. So Minework Palace just finishing up here for real. He's only committed 2 villages to this the whole time, so he's managed to actually get close to 600 gold. I think he's actually looking to get 600. He hasn't started going for any upgrades yet, and yeah, he's already over 600 gold in the bank here. Okay, so he's going to get ranged armor to start with. Well, for now, Yuimetal hasn't really committed to anything except these spears. Starting to bank a bit of food. And where's he rallying his villagers to? Doesn't really have anything in the way of production just yet. He's switched to Sipahi production from Spearmen. So for now, this ranged armor upgrade's not going to be of any value to Yuimetal this early on. It's not as though Yuimetal's fielded any ranged units. But he's got 600, over 600 gold. Was contemplating getting marching drills there, but it looks like he's just going to race towards Castle Age first. So I wonder if he's possibly going for a fast Burgrave Palace. Because the beauty of that is, if you can get the Man-at-Arms out against a Civ that really doesn't have a counter to Man-at-Arms until Castle Age, you know, basically at best all he can do is have Sipahi tank and have archers shoot over the top. And even then it's not terribly cost effective. You've got to take fights with a bigger army constantly. So we've got a meta here. And they've got that 15% speed bonus as well, which I believe comes from the fact that this would have been Yuimetal's pick here in his... What's it called? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, his Vizier point system. So he's gone meta drums. So the meta, give that nice bit of extra speed. On top of whatever buff you've also got them selected to do. And for now he's just got attack speed bonus, but either way, quite nice. Yeah, so Real is just going to rush Burgrave. So this is equivalent to throwing down 5 barracks at once. You know, and also getting your Castle Age. Coupled with Minework, could be quite strong because, you know, he can now also get back on the gold and just pump out Bloomery, Fitted Leatherwork, and Marching Drills. So, Mehmed Imperial Armory is coming out from our Ottomans player. And he can look at getting a blacksmith here as well to speed up the production of both of these buildings that make free units. Yeah, but with early Man-at-Arms, you're still going to need to try and get the normal Man-at-Arms and the veteran Man-at-Arms upgrades out for them to truly compete against Castle Age units once Yuimetal gets there. But they're extremely tough to deal with anything other than crossbows or knights in pretty much even number. In fact, I think Holy Roman Man-at-Arms actually trade better, like trade positively against knights with all their unique techs. Like heavy maces and two-handed weapons. You can get both of them. I think it's really only French knights that can actually trade with them still. Like the knights for the civs that don't get any bonuses to knights can't actually trade against an improved Man-at-Arms. But Mangonel, the blacksmith, speeding things up. It's also going to mean these Sipahi come out much quicker. And we're going to have knight production here, and crossbow production from Yuimetal, so He's managed to apply enough pressure that he's more or less negated the fast Burgrave here. And even with marching drills, it's going to be tough to keep up with meta speed boosted cavalry. Our Ottoman player able to just outrun our Holy Roman Empire player here. In fact, I think Real's starting to realize he needs to actually put some pressure onto Yuimetal. Otherwise, he's just going to find himself being picked apart by hypermobile cavalry. He needs to try and pressure the economy of Yuimetal before there's enough of a critical mass of crossbows that the man-at-arms just end up being useless. Just continuing to punt them out. He's going to have to garrison. There it is. Tower, one of the villages. Going back to the town center instead of just to the tower. This looks like a nice fight here for Real, and he's keeping up in terms of the kill value this game. But Yuimetal's committed to a mosque behind this, so he's able to actually snatch up a couple of these relics with his imams. We've got no monastery yet for our Holy Roman Empire player. The first of the free mangonels is out in the field now. So this is going to be tough for Real. He's going to have to try and add some horsemen or some knights to his composition. Another range and stables being added by Yuimetal here. I mean, this is 5 barracks equivalent, but Real is going to have to try and add something else to support these guys at some stage. You can't fight man-at-arms versus knight crossbow forever. Not even as HRE. You can try, but eventually the crossbow count's going to get so substantial, you know, and there's just enough knights to keep you back that man-at-arms just can't keep up. He is going to get two-handed weapons over heavy maces too, so it isn't quite yet that crit mass of bowmen, and if he's not beelining the bowmen to use two-handed weapons, he's probably better off getting heavy maces just to kill the knights as soon as possible. On top of that, oh, we got ranged armor too. That's actually going to be very useful on these man-at-arms, as well as decarbonization. Oh, as well as, sorry, bloomery. You know, tier 1 of the ranged, I mean, melee damage. So, Yuimetal starting to catch the sacreds. Real starting to grab relics as well, but he's only able to grab 1 while Yuimetal's snatched up 4. And in fact, there's actually 6 relics on this map. So things have slowed down a little bit here. And army value is way up for Yuimetal at the moment. Kill value is pretty similar here, but Real hasn't got a huge amount of military out in the field, and he's forced to have to be quite defensive with his army. Doesn't want to drop too many villagers here. Get off that knight. Bit of a saving grace for losing a villager there. At the same time, is that a second mangonel? Yeah, we've got 2 mangonels out already for our Ottoman player. He's just pumping these free crossbows as well. It's starting to look a bit rough here for Real, because the longer he sits back, the more this small difference in his eco, the more he's going to start to hurt as a result of it. But the tough part about playing around the Burgrave like this is that you're sort of locked into just playing hyper defensively. Because, you know, unlike some sort of early night opening, you just don't really have any mobility. No ability to try and threaten an opponent once you're starting to fall behind. Which seems to be ultimately what matters most at this level of play. A nice engagement here from Yuimetal. He's going to get a couple of villages by the looks of it. Yeah, he will grab a couple of villages, and there's no snare on these man-at-arms, so the knights can just continue to disengage. And meanwhile, on the gold mine, the outpost, which had the relic in it to give it empowered attack, is starting to fall now. Yuimetal can look at re-engaging here because Real's now having to come across and defend the outpost. He's gotten a couple of kills here, so the beauty of HRE with their emergency repairs, it just takes that little bit longer to actually destroy shit. But Yuimetal's built up a nice fallback point for himself to start getting some rams and just, you know, park everything here to take down these man-at-arms. This is a nice push for Real because he's picked off both of those mangonels. The third one, Yuimetal's having to be very careful to not lose it. And in fact, the kill value is starting to favour Real because he's gotten both of those mangonels. But at the same time, his army is just thinned out too much, and Yuimetal takes the game and the series with that.